La 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 la. I'm sorry, I honestly don't know why I'm feeling very happy today. I guess it's because the sun is finally out. I mean, this past few days it's been very cloudy and it's been very rainy here, so I'm really happy to see the sun shining brightly outside. It's made me very happy. And I hope if you've been having a rough day or a rough week, I hope I've been able to cheer you up just a little bit. Okay, it's time to talk about how to add forms to your website. Now, in order to add a form or forms to your website, we're going to need the use of a plugin. There are different kinds of plugins that allow us to add forms, but in this particular class, we're going to talk about Ninja Forms. This is a very popular plugin used in the WordPress community. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first of all install the plugin, and then we shall create a form. So I'm just going to come down to plugins. I'm going to click on add new, and I'm going to click on search plugins, and I'm going to type Ninja Forms. Okay, enter. Okay, now as you can see, we have Ninja Forms. There is another Ninja Forms right here. Actually, there's Ninja Forms in a lot of places. We've got Ninja Forms Sendinblue, Ninja Forms MailPoet, Ninja Forms Rawfield, and so on and so forth. One thing you need to realize is that some plugins may have extensions. Extensions being added programs that add additional functions to the main plugin itself. So be careful whenever you're installing a plugin. The plugin itself that you want to install will have just the name, which is in this case Ninja Forms. So I'm going to click install now. Okay. Alright, so it's been installed. Now we need to activate the plugin. By the way, look at the dashboard. There is nothing like forms appearing right yet, right? So we're going to click on activate plugin. And as soon as I do that, you're going to see forms now appear right here, which means there is a plugin. The plugin has been activated and it's ready to be used. So what I'm going to simply do right now is I'm going to come down to add new. I'm going to click on add new. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the fields that I want to add to my form. So in this case, we're building a very simple form that will have a box for the name, maybe for the person's email address, a text box for the message, and then the submit button to submit the email to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to click on first name, either first name or last name. It doesn't matter. It depends on what you want. Okay, in this case, I don't want a first name or a last name. I just want a name, basically. So I can simply remove first from here. Just click that. And now from here, the label position, you can either put it above the element or below the element, to the right of the element, inside of the element. Now in this case, I prefer to put it inside the element itself, inside the box. We're going to take a look at that very soon. Now there are other settings you can put right here. There's a restriction setting. In this case, to validate whether or not this is an email address. It's not. So we can tick this when we're adding our email address, and as you can see, there are other boxes here to make this required, and yes, we want to make this required. So let's just do that. That should be fine for now. Calculation settings and all these other ones, typically I don't bother myself with them at all. You don't really need them either, unless you're looking for some advanced functionality. So I'm just going to close that. Okay. Now from here we can actually, for me, you can preview your form. So I'm just going to right click on that. I'm going to open that in a new tab. That's what that looks like. Page not found. Okay, that is pretty interesting. What's happening here? Let's see. Okay, let's save this first of all. Okay, we need to give this a name first of all. So let's say this is a contact form. Okay. And this is of course checked. Just save that. Okay, so this is saved. Now let's see whether we can still preview this. And no, we still can't preview it. Now the problem here is because we haven't yet attached our form to a particular page. Now in this case, we want to attach our forms to the contact page. So I'm going to come down to all pages, click on this. If you don't have a contact page yet, you should do that. I'm going to come down to contact. I'm going to click on edit. I'm going to click on the drop down box here. And as you can see, we have contact. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on update. And now from here, we should be able to view our form. I'm just going to click this on the new, just close this. Open this in a new tab. Let's see what it looks like. And as you can see, we have our form right here. Fields marked with an asterisks are required. So let's add the email field and the field for the message box. I'm going to come down. Let's go down to forms. Go back to all forms. Click on edit right here. Okay, I'm going to click on email next. Okay, just drag this above submit. And let's do some modifications to the email as well. I'm going to remove, or I'm going to position this inside of the element. Restriction settings, I'm going to make sure that this is required. And it's also to, I'm also going to make sure that the email address is validated as real, that it's not some fake email address that someone is putting in. I'm going to click on save. Just close that. Next, I'm going to add a box for the message. Now we have a text box, which is for a single line, and we have the text area, which is for a message. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to drag this above submit. And as usual, I'm just put this inside of the element. I can change this. I can actually remove this, and I can put, let's see. Let's just type message inside the box. Message. Or better still, actually. Sorry. Let's just say message. Okay. Now there are other options here to show a rich text editor, to show the media upload button, and to disable this on mobile. I prefer not to take any of them because you don't want people formatting the text they send to you. You know, all we need is just the text basically. There's no need to get all fancy. And the show media upload button, I would not encourage this because in this case people can actually attach forms and documents, which can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing because then people can attach viruses and Trojan horses and other malware into their message. So I prefer not to do that. So I'll just close this and then click on save. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to refresh. And as you can see right now, we have a name, email, message. I actually forgot to make this important, but you know, you can go ahead and do that. So the next thing we actually need to do right now is we need to tell NinjaForms to send whatever forms are filled to a particular email address. We haven't yet told NinjaForms what email address they should send forms to when they're completed. So in order to do that, I'm going to come back here. I'm going to click on email and actions at the top right here. And now I'm going to click on add new. Okay, the action name is, let's say, send email. Okay, from address, I'm going to close this, and this is to indicate from the person sending the message. I'm going to put the person's email address there instead. And as you can see, we have the IDs for the boxes that we created. So I'm going to put email here. And then 2 is where we're going to add our own email address. I'm just going to say onyalex14@gmail.com. This is my real email address, by the way, so just so you know. And subject, we can let's say new message. And then the email message should have all the fields that have been filled. Basically, that's all we want. Or you can even choose to just display the message box only. If I click down here, I can click on the message itself, and let me just remove this. Click on insert field. So what will happen is, in the content area for the email, you will only have the message. If you want to see everything at once, you can simply click on insert all fields. I'm just gonna leave this unchecked. I'm gonna click on save. So every time anyone fills, sorry, actually I should have put name right here. Okay, so it's gonna be from the person's name, it's gonna be from the person's email address, it's gonna come down to this email address, and the message that we'll have in the email will be just the message field itself. So I'm just save that. And so every time anyone sends, completes the form, fills the form, and sends and fills the form, it will be submitted to this particular email address right here. So you can go ahead and take a look at that and see what happens. Let's actually come back here and refresh this page just to make sure that it's displaying all the fields correctly. So we have a name, email, message, and so that's pretty much Ninja Forms. It's free for you to use, but I believe they also have a paid version, which will have some added functionality as well. There are other things here which you can look at. If you click on submissions, submissions will show you all the forms that have been filled so far at a glance. You can choose to import or export different kinds of content right here if you want to. And then settings also gives you additional options. You can change the date format or the currency symbol if you want to. And advanced settings is this will remove all Ninja Forms should you choose to uninstall Ninja Forms. So I typically stay away from all these settings. You don't really need them. All you need is just for people to be able to fill a form and send you a message, and that's all that matters right now. So that's pretty much it for Ninja Forms. Thank you for watching this video, and join me in the next class where we'll talk about another plugin to use for creating forms. Thank you. Okay, let's continue our WordPress series on how to create forms in WordPress. And today we'll be talking about the Contact Form 7 plugin, which, just like the Ninja Forms plugin, is also used for creating forms on your WordPress site. Now, typically, in order to install a plugin, we would come down to plugins and then simply click on add new, and then search right here for the plugin. But right now I want to show you a different way of searching for plugins and installing them. So right here I'm on Google. So what I'm going to do is I've already typed the name of the plugin that I'm looking for, and I'm going to click on Google search, and as you can see, this is it right here, WordPress Contact Form 7. I'm going to click on this right here, and now this is the official WordPress page for this particular plugin. As you can see, it has its description, it has some documentation as well on how to install, some FAQs as well, and as you can see, it has some ratings as well. It's had over 535 stars, and the author is Takayuki Miyoshi from Japan, obviously. And so as you can see, this is another way of installing plugins. You can come down here to installation. You'll see how to install it if you want to. This is a different way of installing it. So right now I'm just gonna download this and upload it manually. Okay, so it's downloading to my desktop. I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna click on upload plugin now. Okay, I'm gonna click on upload plugin, and I'm gonna choose my file. It's gonna be on the desktop. Or better yet, let me just drag it right from here. Okay, you can actually drag and drop. Okay, I've dragged and dropped it. I'm gonna click on install now. And of course, I'm going to activate the plugin. By the way, I have deactivated the Ninja Forms plugin. As you can see right here, it's deactivated. You always want to make sure that you don't have multiple plugins that perform more or less the same function on your WordPress website, because you could have conflicts, and we don't want that to happen. So whenever you're thinking of using the plugin, and you have a series of options of plugins to choose from, simply choose the one that's best for you and leave the others either deactivated or uninstalled. So as you can see, Contact Form 7 is now activated, and as you can see, Contact is now created right here. I'm going to click on Contact Forms. And of course, Contact Form automatically creates a plugin initially, as you can see, Alex 1 minute ago. So this is the default Contact Form that the plugin will build for you. So I can come down here and click on Edit. And again, by default, it already has this fields laid out for you. You have your name, you have your email, your subject, your message, and of course the submit button already installed, already pre-filled for you basically. Now, in order to use this, you simply need to copy. It says here, copy this code and paste it into your post, page, or text widget content. So I'm simply gonna copy this for now. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna come down to pages. Let's open this in a new tab. And of course, I'm gonna go down to my contact page. I'm going to simply click enter right here, and I'm going to paste the form right here. Let's click on update, and then we can preview the page and see what happens. Okay, let me click on the view page. Okay, and now as you can see, you have your name, your email, subject, message, and that's pretty much it. So you can actually add additional fields by coming down here to the right, and you can see there's something here called generate tag. So let's say okay, telephone number, let's add that. I'm gonna click on that, and you can choose to add the name here. Let's say telephone, and all you need to do now is simply copy this code. I'm gonna copy this, and then it says paste it into the form on the left. So I'm gonna come down here to after email, just gonna paste that right here. Telephone. Okay, let me just save this. It's saved. Let's come down here, click on refresh. Let's see how that looks like. Okay, it has the field, but the phone tag itself is missing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back to my form. I can simply copy this right here. I'm gonna copy this, just create some space for this, go back up, and I'm gonna paste that. Oops, I wanted some space. Okay, your telephone. How do you spell telephone again? Telephone number. Okay, this looks good. Let me just save this and then see what happens. Let's come back to this, refresh, and your telephone number required. As you can see, it's been added and the tag is right there. Now there is something else that you can actually add, which is a captcha as well. As you can see, you can add a captcha if you want to. However, when you click on this, you have something that says no, to use captcha you need really simple captcha plugin installed. So what I want you to do as an assignment is to go ahead and install the plugin. They've provided you with the link already. Click on the link, click on download, or you can even simply search for this plugin, the really simple captcha plugin. You can search for it on the plugins page and then install the plugin. Then come back down here and try to add a captcha field. So let me know how that works out for you. If you're having issues, of course, feel free to send me a message and we shall look at the issue together. But I also wanted to show you something else down here. You can change where you want the email address. Whenever anyone fills your form, you can fill where you want the email address, where you want the form to be sent to, I'm sorry. And of course, you can choose to fill this all by yourself, put your own tags there if you want to, just like in Ninja plugins. But this is a little bit easier because it's already been laid out for you. And you can also decide to use a second email where the forms will be sent to once they're filled as well if you want to. And of course, you have messages here. If a sender's message was sent successfully, you can type this: your message was sent successfully, thanks. Let's change this. Let's just test this out. Your message is good. Bye bye. Okay, let's just see how that works out. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna come down here to save. Come down here, refresh. And now let me just quickly type something here. My name is Bruce Wayne. My email address is bwayne@yahoo.com. That's obviously fake. My phone number is la 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 la. Wait, let me just make this look a bit more realistic. Subject: hello, message. Hi, this is a text. I'm going to click on send. And as you can see, the message is right here. Your message is good. Bye bye. So you can play around with this as well. You can change the messages that will be displayed depending on what happens when the form is filled. As you can see, it's all laid out for you right there. So this concludes another class for on how to create forms with a WordPress plugin. So once again, do not forget to do the tasks that I asked you to do. If you have any issues, feel free to message me. And until next class, bye bye.